Hello everyone and welcome to the Ingles table. I'm Smoking Joe Lasher and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my delicious roasted beef tenderloin with French onions and horseradish. I got everything I needed at my local Ingles, so let's get started. So the recipe calls for about 2 to 2.5 pounds of sliced sweet onion. So without boring you on camera, I already did that. I have a large cast iron skillet. You can use any large pan on the oven or stovetop, excuse me, medium high heat. I put olive oil, 4 tablespoons of butter, and what I'm doing is caramelizing these onions. It can take about 45 minutes. Once they started to soften, I put some fresh thyme and rosemary sprigs in there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull those out. And I've turned my heat down to a low medium to just let these onions continue to simmer. Caramelization brings out well, basically caramelizes the onions, browns the onions, some people will say. But I'm gonna pull those sprigs out, and then the recipe could call for a dry sherry. I picked up in the Asian section of Ingles a rice wine, which is a great replacement. I'm gonna put about 1/4 cup or so of the rice wine in there, and I'm gonna keep that, give it one little stir, and then I'm gonna let these onions continue to brown in the pan. While that's happening, I have an oven preheated to 450 degrees, and I have a beautiful beef tenderloin from the Ingles meat department. So I've trimmed that up, taken all the any kind of sinew or silver skin, some may call it, but I've trimmed this tenderloin. What we're gonna do while our onions are caramelizing, we're gonna coat that with olive oil. Put that on. I have my gloves on. You don't have to have them, but I think for me, it's the way I like to do things. I'm gonna coat that with olive oil. Notice I've got it on a baking rack over a sheet pan. Then we've got a mixture of salt, pepper, and granulated garlic. We're just gonna liberally coat this with those seasonings all the way around. Another tip that I should mention is before I put the olive oil onto here and the seasoning, I've let this sit at room temperature for about 20 to 25 minutes at least. You want to kind of bring up the core temperature of the meat so you don't overcook the outside while it's in the oven and still have an unwanted result on the inside. Too rare. So we've got our beef coated. We're going to pop this in just right onto this rack, just like so. The whole pan and all right into a 450 degree oven. We're gonna let it cook for about 25 minutes and then start checking the internal temperature. You wanna bring it up to 135 degrees, pull it out and let it rest for about 15 minutes under a loose piece of foil. All right, y'all, so I've got my caramelized onions. Look how beautiful these came out. Beautiful and brown and just buttery deliciousness. It's really soaked up the flavor of that rice wine and the herbs. I've got some delicious homemade creamy horseradish sauce. The recipe's along with this one, or you can pick up some great products in the Ingles supermarket. So here we are. I pulled the beef tenderloin and we've let it set for about 15 minutes or so. So I'm just gonna take that, pull it over to my cutting board, and we're gonna slice into this and just see what kind of goodness we have. I like to cut mine in about 1/4 inch slices. Look at that, just a perfect pink, nice, beautiful, juicy beef tenderloin. This is an amazing alternative during the holidays to maybe a traditional protein. I encourage you to take this recipe and try it this holiday season. I want to thank you so much for joining me here at the Ingles table. Be sure to check out the website for more tips, tricks, and recipes, and I'll see you next time.